The West always brags about freedom, democracy, and prosperity. Unless you live in a world of only sunshine and rainbows, you might have realized this is simply not true. Freedom has been clearly stepped on in the last 2 years, but freedom of speech has been gradually removed in the name of tolerance and diversity. While the progressive ruling class advocates for multiple genders, racial equality, and most importantly, diversity, they do not tolerate what goes against their narrative. In other words, they love diversity as long as it's something they agree with. Let's face it, that is textbook intolerance. Unfortunately, this is now so normalized it is scary. If you do not agree with their ideas, you might be frowned upon. I once had a female friend who was so convinced of her feminist ideas she would say, "If you're not a sexist, how come you are not a feminist?" That's today's world, mate. Selective diversity. They promote a gender grayscale, but in some cases, everything is black and white. Democracy and prosperity go beyond the scope of today's video, but just consider that your vote is not that powerful because the important matters are determined by decrees or executive orders, depending on your country's law terminology. In terms of prosperity, I can say there are more opportunities than in other places, but it's surprising to see that many Westerners move to other supposedly poor countries to become successful expats and live happier lives. And guess what? Those countries do not usually debate over gender roles, feminism, or how the government should gain more power. Countries like Qatar, UAE, Colombia, Brazil, and many more. In those places, the structure of the family is a fundamental pillar of society, and that's what the rulers want to destroy. Just keep in mind that if there are no families, there's no society. But let's not go that deep into the rabbit hole. Think of gender roles, for instance. We are told that women must pursue a career too, and it's okay if she wants to study male-dominated degrees like engineering and computer science. We have also witnessed how governments incentivize girls to study these kinds of degrees to break the rules. Finally, the system says they will become more independent and beat the so-called patriarchy. In some insane cases, governments try to offer cheaper tuition for girls studying these degrees. So the logical question is, where's the equality? Actually, that's a term so malleable that it's almost fictional. Changes in gender roles imply broken dysfunctional relationships, men acting as women and vice versa, and ultimately, the decline of a once promising civilization. Does all this ring a bell? Well, what comes next is even more outrageous, but the following are straight facts. Because of feminism, many women are craving a life with multiple rights and no responsibilities. This has several implications like sleeping with as many men as they want, saying whatever they feel like, getting treated as queens no matter what, getting tax money to fund useless talks about how to do a blowjob, and even more obscure ones like free abortion, free female sterilization. Modernism makes women believe they're all-powerful, but at the same time sponsors policies to clearly favor them. Again, where's the equality? Having met many women and even dated some, I listened carefully to their opinions. One girl told me that she was on a wait list to get sterilized because a kid would be a burden that will impede her from traveling. Another girl told me that the 9 months of pregnancy are hell on earth, even though she had never experienced that. As you can tell, these are not their ideas, but rather someone else's. And when it comes to abortion, similar arguments are promoted apparently under the veil of compassion. They go like this. What if I do not have the means to give my kid a happy life? What if he has to spend his whole life in a wheelchair? On the other side of the modern woman spectrum, some get pregnant to lock down a guy. And the guy was so naive he sadly fell into the trap. Now this innocent man is forced to take care of a kid, and who knows, even the mother who might be sleeping with other guys. And let's not forget that in many Western countries, shared custody tends to lean towards the mother's side. All these factors make men question whether it is wise to get involved in a relationship. There are a few options to consider, though. The first one is going to a country where more traditional values are the norm. The second one is having multiple women but no engagement at all, which is a bit dangerous given the #MeToo movement. And if you're a valuable guy, they will surely get attached to you and distract you from your goals. And the third one is just staying single, and as crazy as it may sound, falling in love with your purpose. Whether your goal is building a business, becoming a qualified professional, traveling the world, or getting a promotion, go all in. And yes, reverse psychology is real. When you stop chasing women, they come to you. But perhaps you end up loving your lifestyle, your purpose, and your brotherhood more than having meaningless flings with women with scandalous body counts. Let women do whatever they want, but you, as a man, go beyond that, build your dream life, and become a self-assured individual who lives on his own terms. That's the ultimate freedom you should aspire to.